How's it going, guys? Klutch here once again with another Farming Sim 19 tutorial. Today we're talking all about cattle. Cattle. We've got a lot of things to go over today. We're going to be talking about exactly what you need to do to get them, what you need to do to keep them, and more importantly, how are you going to make money off these things? So we're going to dive into that, guys. We got a lot to talk about, like I said, so let's get into this. Pitter patter.
Klutch simulations.
Alright, guys, so like I said, cattle, kind of a confusing subject in the game if you haven't done it before. We'll talk about all the aspects of it today quickly, well, as quick as we can. So first off, you're going to need a place for your cattle. There is no in-game just cattle locations with the base maps, at least. So right in front of us, you were seeing a cattle pen, something along those lines. This one, I believe, is the large pen. So let's take a quick look at where you get those. So if we scroll over to our placeables, you'll find your animal pens. And then scroll over, you got cow pasture and large cow pasture. Now the only difference really is the amount of cattle between the two, 50 and 200 respectively. And then you'll just simply open it up and you'll find our place on a plot of land you own, and you should be able to place it there. So we've already placed this one. I'm not going to place another one. You get the gist of that. Placeables, yeah. So that's your object. That's the whole object of the game there, is just find a place to place your placeable. Can I say that 5 times fast? All right, so once you have your cow pasture, you can then go ahead and purchase cattle. Now, there's 2 different ways you can do this, depending on how you want to go about it. Now, if you're low on funds or you don't have the trailer to transport them, you can have someone transport them for you. Simply go to this area here. It's usually like a door, or it looks like an entrance into it, a larger area. And you can click on the animal dealer, and that brings up our menu for looking at animals. Now from here we can purchase cattle. You can see I'm just loading my cart with cattle. Since I do not have a trailer to transport them, you can see here in the bottom corner we're getting charged $1,200 fee to have them brought to us. So what does it equal out to? I think it's $300 per cow regardless. So you're going to get charged an extra fee as soon as you hit OK on that button. So way number 2 to transport your cattle will be with some kind of a trailer. Now there's currently 3 base game trailers available that will transport cattle. This here is the biggest of them. I think it looks it's pretty cool looking, actually. I do love the look of it. You will need to find the animal sell point. That happens to be this Patterson Stockyards on this particular map. And it's actually a pretty cool sell point on this map. I like this one on this particular map, on the American map. It's pretty, it looks pretty cool. So once again, you'll need to find the location to where the sell point is, which just happens to be this little square box on this one here. And then you can go ahead and purchase. Oops, I went too far. I think my truck has to be closer to it, that's all. There it goes. If you have a trailer, you're going to be able to purchase any kind of animal here. Just make sure you are in fact buying cows if you have a cow pen. And so I'm going to buy 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's just going to be for measuring purposes. So we know we have 10 cows, and we can easily multiply that depending on how many cows you have in your field once we start looking at numbers. Oh, watch out for the train. Now, let's take a quick look at our other options for trailers here as well. So like I said, there's a couple different options. We need to go to our animal transports. And in here you're going to find these 3 different trailers here, and they just vary in size, obviously. It tells you, what is this? Cow, pigs, sheep, and that's how many they can transport. So cows, pigs, sheep, so 14, 12. Anyways, so it just kind of varies how many you can get of each. That's the big difference between all these. Nothing too crazy here. Buy which one you like. This one here is your horse trailer. This will only carry horses, and nothing else carries horses. So if you want to carry horses, this is what you're looking for. Any other livestock, any of these 3 will do. Anyways, let's get back to the farm and we'll drop these guys off. Alright, so you're going to go back to the exact same location you went to before to activate the store, and just bring your trailer and truck kind of in that area. And actually, this is kind of cool. Now that I've got cows in the trailer, they're actually in there. You can see them kind of in the grates. There's some up top, I think, too. That's cool. I like that. We'll open up our sell point, or our menu again, and we can simply move these all over. So this is coming from the Silver Star, which is the trailer, to the farm. Confirm. There we go. We got cows in the paddock. Awesome. All right, let's move on to water. All right, so once we have our cows, the first thing I tend to worry about is water. So I've got a water truck or a water tanker here. This tanker, there's a couple different variations you can get. Look at that reflection. That is awesome. Wow. Anyways, I've just got a portable, not a portable, but a placeable water tank here, a fill station. You can fill these tanks pretty much anywhere though, like if you find a river or a lake or yeah, pretty much anything. There's a bunch of water towers that are kind of on the tracks as well on this particular map that you can use. I don't know if we'll be able to get up here or not. Come on, baby. So once you've got water in it, you just simply drive this up to the trough. There'll be a water trough and a food trough. The one that's outside on these ones, on these current ones, are the water troughs. Right bumper and Y, and boom. You can see there's kind of water going into it now. This will, if you leave this parked here and you don't even need the truck running, this will fill up as the cows require it sometimes too. It seems to be, yeah, since we're parked there and we've already activated that, we can go to our menu and we can see now that water's full. We'll check on that in a little bit, but it typically just drains in automatically now, which is kind of nice too. So it'll take everything out of this tank, and as they need it, it'll drain it in, which is kind of cool. So cows got water. We got our 10 cows. Let's talk about the more confusing aspect, which is food. Let's do that. So over in this area here is our food troughs for the cattle. Now what we're going to do, we'll do a little bit of an experiment. So if you click in the menu here, you can see that there's 3 different types of food, and it tells you that the effectiveness of each one, so grass is 25, hay silage 75, and total mixed ration, the TMR, it'll give you 100% effectiveness. We're going to see what each one of these do to our cows individually. So we'll start with grass, then we'll move over to hay silage, then we'll move over to food mixed ration. And between each, we're going to wait 24 hours and see what our production rates will be. And at the end, we'll put all 3 together and see what that is. So we'll do all that separately. Now, before we get into this, I do need to get some straw. So the straw is going to give us the option to have manure. Since I want to measure that, let's get some straw in there first, and I'll show you how to do the straw. Now normally I wouldn't worry about this first, I'd worry about the food, because I'm not going to really rush out for the manure. Manure is just for fertilizing things, and I'm not in a huge rush for that, so I wouldn't worry about that right off the bat. But for this experiment, I'm going to put straw in first. So let's look at how we get straw. So to get straw, and it's the straw bedding is what that's going to do, we need to have some straw, a straw bale, and we need to have the straw breaker, basically this here device, and I'll just move this out of the way so we can have access to it. Otherwise I'm not going to be able to get in there. And it's really quite simple to use. All you need to do is take a bale or 2 and put it inside. Now I've had some issues putting more than 1 bale into this at a time in 19 so far. It's kind of gotten jammed once or twice on me, so I'm just going to stick with 1 bale at a time for this exercise. But in theory, you should be able to stick 2 bales in there. I don't see why that would be an issue, but just be aware that right now there seems to be something going on, so I would try to avoid doing more than 1 at a time. Ooh, that was close, thank you. I thought I was going to miss it. Come on. There we go. So I'll drop that in there, leave this alone. So you can see that on one side you have the chute there in the back of the trailer. That's where the straw is going to come out of, and you cannot really turn that around on this device. So you got to make sure that you're pointing the right direction. Let's go around. And this one here, oh, it's going to get stuck because I didn't terraform this very well. There we go. And let's just bring up the menu so we can see what we're doing here. So you can see there's a couple different options on this. You can open the back door if you want to unload it, which we do not want to do. That's really the only other options you're going to get. You're going to have one option here that we can adjust the swath or the direction in which the everything gets sprayed. So we just pull up into this, and now here's the box for the straw bedding. And if I move the controls right or left, you can see I can move that little device, the angle of it, and we're just going to start firing away. So there goes our straw, and we can change if we want to where it's angled at. As long as it's going in, it doesn't matter. I don't even think it has to go in really to count. So we're going to go through this bale. It takes a bit of time, and if you watch over here, our straw is going to be going up, which is perfect. So that's what we want. We want to get this up, and that's going to allow the animals to make manure for us. Now, like I said, this is not required right off the bat, But for the purpose of our experiment, I want to get manure so I can get an idea if it changes at all depending on what food. I should mention as well, while we're back here, this here is what provides us with slurry, so that's fertilizer as well, and then the manure will be in here, so that's kind of a harder fertilizer essentially, right? I'm not going to get into details on what that is. You guys can figure it out. Anyways, I'm going to let this work away, and then we're going to deal with food. All right, so we've got our, where are we here? Our straw bedding. We're full. It took 2 bales, and that gave us the 8,000 liters, obviously. We are full up. We got full of water. Let's get some food going. So we're going to start with grass. Now, there's a couple different ways you can do that. You could simply go with a mower and then bale it. That's an easy way of doing it. Or I've just got a forage picker-up type trailer here. The forage trailers basically. And I just went around behind and picked up a bunch of grass clippings. Now this will work. Just make sure you're not doing hay, because that will not work. Needs to be grass. All right, so we will dump in as much as it will take. We'll fill this trough up. Cattle should be getting grass now. Perfect. There you go. You can see it's already climbing up. We'll fill this right up, and then once they have that grass, they should be good. Now, obviously, won't be quite full. Actually, that's too bad, but that's all right. It's more than enough. We're going to wait one night, and we're going to see what kind of numbers we get for slurry milk, manure, and reproduction rates with just grass. It should be pretty high at 25%. Shouldn't be very good. We'll see what we get. We'll get this out of the way, and we will see you guys in the morning. Alright guys, so that is about 24 hours in the books. Our 10 cows are still alive. They still got some food, they still got water. Let's take a look how they did. So you're going to see here, they're running at about 35% productivity. So our reproduction rate is 1,100 hours roughly. So you're looking at about 1,000, 1,100 hours before you get another cow. Quite a long time. That's not great. Manure, they made 1,200 liters of manure. We've got 800 liters of slurry fertilizer and only about 400 liters of milk. So not very much in the grand scheme of things. So that's at, like I said, we're just using grass. So it should be 25% efficiency right now. We're going to see if we can bump that up. So before we do that, though, I did want to mention, you'll see, actually, if we go back to that screen, that the cleanliness has dropped down to 52%. So this does have an effect on their productivity. Now, to keep the cattle clean, all you need to do is clean this stuff up here, all this brown stuff. It's hay and grass, I believe, or hay and, I think it's hay and grass that's come out. Now, for the sake of this test, I'm not going to be doing any cleanup at night. I'm going to make sure it's at 100% when we leave, and then 24 hours later, whatever it's at, I missed it all. Whatever it's at after 24 hours, that's what it's at. We'll use that as kind of so it's just a basic way of keeping everything, a litmus test of sorts, I guess. So there we go, we've cleaned this all up. Now you can typically dump that back in there if you'd like, and use it as food again. You can just go inside and dump it in, but that's how you would keep your animals clean, in case you were wondering that, because that can be a little bit of an interesting one as well. So there we go. Oops. Just dumped it all in. Oh, I'm dumping it all over the place now. Let's see what it did. Actually, you can see right now that hay silage, it's giving it some just from us doing that. Anyways, so that was with grass. Let's move on. All right, so next up we need to talk about hay and silage. That is simple enough. All you do need to do here is grab a bale of hay, a bale of silage, and put it in. So let's start off with the hay. There we go. Make sure it's not grass. Won't work with grass, obviously. It will need to be hay. Now you can do, there's obviously several different ways you could do hay just by picking it up with that forage wagon. If you would like. Let's see if we can get 2 at the same time there. Oh yeah, there we go. Excellent. Alright, so we will take these 2 in. But what I've gone and done is I've just purchased some bales. You could obviously make your own bales. Oh, there's a couple different ways you could do this depending on what you have available. But just for the purpose of this test, I am just using purchased bales. So to do this, all I need to do now is drop this off here. You can see the hay has gone in. Now they've got some hay. Let's see if I can grab that other one. Oh, missed it. That's a tough angle. Come on, back it up. Back her on up. Come on, get in there. There we go. So we'll put these two in, then we'll grab 2 bales of silage, and the same thing goes for silage as well. I've got the purchase bales you saw down below. However, you could always go and set up a silage pit and just scoop it in with a shovel or a conveyor belt or whatever else you may have at your disposal. So those are both options. Now I have a funny feeling I'm going to have to use quite a bit of this stuff. It's not going to be just a simple 2 bales and we're done kind of thing. I'm probably going to end up taking all these bales over there, but we'll see. We'll get 2 bales of each in. We'll see where we sit. This time if I can do it without dropping everything, that'd be great. Perfect. Alright, so, and droppy drop. Okay. So now if we look at our menu, it's not too bad actually. You can see we've got hay, silage, 32,000 liters. Everything else is full. Productivity is down at 20. It's going to bump up obviously right away here. So I'm going to finish doing this off and I will see you guys once again in 24 hours. Alright guys, so we have done another successful 24 hours. Cow's still alive. Still lots of foods, lots of water. We are good there. Let's take a look at how we did for the last 24 hours. Alright, so you can see cow productivity is up to 75%, which is what we would expect. Reproduction rate was down to 772. I think we were at 1100 last time. So it's down a decent amount, right? So that's going to get us more cows a little bit faster. Manure and slurry are exactly the same pretty much as where they were before. And our milk is up from, what was it, 400 to up to 722 now. So pretty good increase there. Just a little less than double the amount of milk. So not too bad. What else? We got cleanliness is down to 51 as you would expect. As you can see, we do need to clean up our pen again. That is normal. So like I said, we didn't clean up between. We've left it as is, so it's kind of a standardized test between all 3 different foods. So last of all, let's move on to the TMR. Let's do that one. So exactly how do you make TMR? Well, if we jump into our tractor here that's connected to the mixer, bring up our help menu, in the bottom there you can see your mixing ratios. So the top, let me see if I can get this one right. The top will be your hay, middle is silage, sorry, and bottom is straw. You want to have levels that kind of meet up in between those arrows. So we'll start filling stuff up into this mixer and I'll show you exactly what I mean. So we'll start off with, let's see, what do I want to start off with? Let's start off with the old hay at the back side there. You know what, we can start with silage. It's just as easy to start with silage since we're right here. Alright, so we'll go and toss this in into the old bathtub here. Alright, there we go. So now if we jump inside, you can see that silage is at 100%. So obviously the ratios are a little bit different depending on which ones you want to get. Now, I'll just give you the method I use. When we're using this large one, the easiest way to go is 2 hay, 1 silage, 1 straw. Now, that's just the... I find that to be the easiest way to go. Did I push it over? Nope, good. Now, if you happen to go with the other mixer, the smaller mixer that's stock in game, your ratios get mixed up a little bit, as I found it in a recent Let's Play. We made a big mess of it, because when you have to dump this out, it makes a huge mess. So, yeah, if you go with the smaller one, basically you do two hay and 1 silage, and no straw whatsoever, and then you're still good. The straw is more of like a filler of sorts. But now that we've got room for it, we can stick this in here, and we should be good. There we go. Alright, so now when I jump inside, all green bars, everything is good. So 50, 25, 25, we're happy. So with this particular mixer, you can fire it up, get it spinning there. It dumps on both left and right side. You can see there's a conveyor belt on the left here, and there's one on the right as well. So you need to make sure that you have it set to dump on the right side depending on wherever way you pull up to your trough. Let's see if it comes up right away. Yeah, so we don't have it set correctly right now. So it's tip left side, tip right side. Now we can tip. Boom. and it's going to start dumping in and filling our feed troughs. Perfect. So this is probably going to take, I bet you it's going to take us two of these fills. Let's take a look here as it goes up. Yeah, it's going to take us a bit more still. So I'll fill this up once more, and then once again we will wait our customary 24 hours. What time is it? Perfect, 11:30 again. And we'll see where we are tomorrow. So I'll do that, and I will see you guys in the morning. All right, guys, so another 24 hours has elapsed. Cows are well fed. Let's take a look at what we got for numbers last night. All right, so productivity is up to 95% with the TMR. Of course, that's what we expected, right? You can see our cleanliness is down to 51 once again. Haven't touched that. That's what's to be expected. Reproduction rates down to 600 hours. That's a little bit of an increase, or a little bit of a decrease. What was it? 750 with the hay silage. Manure and slurry, once again, are pretty much identical, 800 and 1100. So what does that tell you? If you're just getting cattle so you can make manure and slurry for fertilizer, don't worry about the total mixed ration. Just feed them grass. It doesn't matter. What do we got for milk? Just under 1,000 liters. So up again another, what, maybe 15% up from 750 liters, I think it was, 720 liters. So, yeah, I mean, that's obviously what we're trying to sell here. That's the big number that we want to get higher. Now, we've checked all this stuff out. That's what you get with 10 cows with each individual food portion. Now, if we're going to do this the right way, we want to do with all three different foods. So we're going to start filling this up with all three different types. I'll check back with you once we get it all filled up, and we'll see what we get. All right, so we got to start this bad boy up. That's right. We are almost done filling everything up. We've got most of our hay and silage in there. We've got the TMR is dumping its second load right now. I'm just going to start filling with grass. Oh, look at that. I can fill right there. Boom. Okay. So let's take a quick look, see how we're doing. That's dumping in. Yeah, that looks good. So we're getting all our numbers up. I don't need to worry about it. As long as we have everything in the green, I'm going to be happy with that for this test. That will be sufficient. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So we are at 11:30. We'll be taking a break here for 24 hours once again. Let's see what we get. As you can see, we are currently just starting to get some numbers come in on everything. Everything else is good to go. Productivity 99%. That's going to bump up right away, I'm sure, too. So let's go for 24 hours. See you guys in a sec. All right, guys, it's been another 24 hours. Our cows have had access to everything. This has been a full load. What did we get out of it this time? Well, look at this. The manure, slurry, everything is exactly the same as if they just had TMR as the last time. There is no benefit whatsoever to having hay, silage, and grass all together. Just go with your TMR. Don't worry about the rest, is what this is telling us. 908 liters is exactly what we had with just the TMR on our last test. There is zero advantage to actually adding hay, grass, and silage. That's interesting. I always thought this would be an added bonus, and I'm totally mistaken on that. I'm actually kind of blown away. So I guess that tells you all you need to worry about is TMR. Do not worry about grass, hay, and silage if you're going to be doing TMR. There you go. Pick one, and that's it. You get no bonus from adding other ones in, apparently. Well, maybe if you did hay, silage, and grass, that might give you, because that would probably give you 75 plus 25. Maybe you'd get the same amount with those two. That might be another test to do for another day. But that's interesting, the fact that we didn't get that. All right. Well, now that that test's done, the last thing I wanted to quickly show you guys, if you decide to go with, or if you want to get manure back, you're going to need some other manure and slurry. You're going to need some other devices. So this here is just a slurry spreader. It works the same as your water. You can go in now, and it's going to give us the option to fill it up since we have slurry, and then this will be a spreader that you can go across on and spread to your field afterwards. Nothing special there, but if you're looking for it, this is how you would do it. This one's got a cultivator on the back of it, which has been attached. Another nice option. You can cultivate and fertilize the exact same time. Now over here, this is the manure picker, yeah, this is the spreader, manure spreader. This is the contraption I've come up with to pick up the manure. So this is just a belt pickup with a belt feed, I guess, that is going to go to this trailer. Now you could use the bucket as well to scrape up the manure, or let's see if we can get this to work. Turn belt on, there we go. Or we could do it this way here. That's not going to be enough to go anywhere, unfortunately, but let's see what happens here. We'll drive this up and underneath, and we should get a bit of manure. There it goes. So that's kind of one of the easiest ways. This is the same as silage. All the same things that work for silage is essentially the same for picking up manure. So if you can pick up silage with whatever device you're going to do, you'll be doing the same thing with manure. I mean, it's essentially a pit as well, right? Yeah. So that's really going to do it for cows today, guys. A bit of a surprising result for me. Actually, you know what? There is one other thing that I totally wanted to talk about that I forgot. So then that is milk. Oh man, how do you pick up milk? So as you can see here, I do have a small milk trailer ready to go. And let's find out how much we're going to get for that 900 liters that we got for one day. So this is just a small milk trailer, obviously. We have the bigger one, the big water one. Anything that holds water can hold milk. Now you just pull up to this here location, whatever milk you have there, which will be about 908 liters. That's going to fill up our tank. That's it. That's all we got. Not a lot. All right, so we're going to take the milk down to the milk feed, and now I just want to see what we're going to get. So I'll meet you guys down there. And so any of the silos will take milk, and if I'll map am I on here? Ravenport. They will take milk, so it's same as dropping off your grain goods. Just pull into the silo, and hit the right spot. You should get a little, there you go, notification, and you can sell it. Now we got $500 for that. That is it. I don't think milk is as profitable in FS19 as it was in previous years. That is not a lot of profit for the work we did. So that's 10 cows for one day, 24 hours, 10 cows with the best possible solution basically there. We had TMR, we had absolutely everything, but with TMR and then having everything going there. So you're gonna get $500 per day for that. Not the best profit, I don't think. Personally, I think that's a lot of work for that. Now, that being said, what we have left in there, that'll last. We won't have to touch those cows, I bet you, for 4 days. We'll just have to clean the pen, and the food that we had given them to start off with will probably last 4 days. So that's something, I guess, maybe $2,000. We'll spin it here. Whoa. Anyways, guys, that is going to be it for this tutorial. I hope you found it informative. If you did, make sure you guys hit that like button. And as always, guys, if you are not a subscriber, why aren't you not a subscriber? Hit the subscribe button. Do it. And that is going to be it for me today, guys. As always, this is Klutch. Thanks for tuning in. Over and out.